Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today, and today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 18th of February 2023. Let's start with our session. Which state allocated 13,000 crore rupees to implement the project of transferring the water collected in Chambal River to other district? So government of Rajasthan has allocated this much amount to implement Eastern Rajasthan Canal project during the recent state budget. And objective of the project is to harvest the surplus water that has been collected during the rainy season in the southern Rajasthan rivers like Chambal and its tributaries like, for example, Kunnu, Parvati and Kali Sindh, and transfer it to southeastern districts of Rajasthan. Okay, so this is the initiative of Rajasthan state government. Next is, which article of the Indian Constitution deals with the appointment of governors for each state in India? So article 153 of the Indian Constitution deals with the appointment of governors for each state in India. And President of India Draupadi Murmu has appointed the governors recently in 12 states and a union territory while accepting the resignation of 2. Okay, so basically Jharkhand governor Mr. Ramesh Bais is now a new governor of Maharashtra, and Arunachal Pradesh governor Mr. B.D. Mishra has been appointed as the Lieutenant General of Ladakh, right? So article number 153 deals with the appointment of governors in each state. Next is, Smart Cities Mission is an initiative of which union ministry? So Smart Cities Mission is the Indian government's urban renewal program that seeks to create sustainable and citizen-centric smart cities. So it is being implemented by the Union Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs in collaboration with the state governments. And nearly 22 smart cities are expected to complete all the projects under the Smart Cities Mission. And the remaining 78 smart cities under this mission are expected to complete their projects in the next 3 to 4 months. Okay, so important thing here is Smart Cities Mission is an initiative of Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Next is, which state or the union territory is the host of India's first frozen lake marathon? So India's first frozen lake marathon is going to be organized at Pangong So Lake in the Union Territory of Ladakh. And this event will be held at an altitude of 13,862 feet, and it will cover a distance of 21 kilometers. So this marathon will start at Lukung and it will end at Man village. So Indian Army and Indo-Tibetan Border Police will oversee the event, and this marathon is called Last Run to highlight the issue of climate change. Okay, so Ladakh is the host for India's first frozen lake marathon. Now talking about the Gujarat state government, recently the state government of Gujarat has announced 100% increase in the annual statement of rates. What is this annual statement of rate? It is also known as Jantri rate, and we can say that it is the minimum rate set by the state governments for registering real estate property when it changes the ownership. Okay, so these rates differ between cities and the places based on the type, location and size of the property. So if you're asked that which state recently announced 100% increment in annual statement of rates for the registration of real estate property, so that state would be Gujarat. Next is, Which African country recently announced demonetization to address corruption and bring down inflation? This is an important question. So Nigeria country has recently announced demonetization to address corruption and bring down inflation. And its purpose is to bring back most of the money that is in circulation outside the banking system and also to minimize the money laundering. Basically, Nigerians are required to turn in their old 1,000, 500 and 200 Naira banknotes as a part of this initiative in return for the new Naira notes. Okay? And since Nigeria largely depends on cash, the shortage of new Naira note is causing chaos in Nigeria. Okay? So recently Nigeria country has announced demonetization. Next is Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently inaugurated a new campus of the Al Jamia Tus Saifia in which city? Basically, it is an Arabic academy that exclusively caters to the education of children who belongs to Dawoodi Bohra community. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently inaugurated a new Mumbai campus of this particular institute. So it is the second such campus in India, and the first campus was set up in 1810 in Surat. Fine. So two things are important. This campus has been inaugurated in Mumbai recently. The first was in Surat. Okay. Next is, which country has planned to launch Millet International Initiative for Research and Awareness, that is MIIRA. So India has planned to launch a global initiative called the Millet International Initiative for Research and Awareness to promote the consumption and production of millets. So basically this MIIRA will coordinate in international millet research programs and it will support the research on millet crops. So this global initiative will also raise awareness and it will promote the millet consumption. And India will provide the initial funding while other G20 countries will contribute to the budget. Fine. So recently India has planned to launch MIIRA, and the full form is very, very important. It is Millet International Initiative for Research and Awareness. Next is, what is the name of the exercise between National Security Guard and US Special Operations Forces? So Turkish exercise is a joint bilateral exercise between India's National Security Guard and US Special Operation Forces. And the sixth edition of this exercise is being held in Chennai, was recently held in Chennai from 16th of January to 14th of February. And this is the first time that chemical, biological, radiological and nuclear terror response is included in Turkish. Okay. So the name of this exercise is Turkish. Okay. Next is, what is the name used to describe a group of synthetic chemicals called per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances? So forever chemicals is a term that is used to describe a group of synthetic chemicals called as per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances that are highly persistent in the environment and they resist degradation. So they are called as forever chemicals because they do not break down naturally and they can persist for decades or even centuries. So recently a new study has been led by Oxford University and they found high levels of forever chemicals has been formed in the ice around Norway country. Okay, so that's why this term was in news. So this is called as forever chemicals. Next is, what is the CPI based inflation recorded in January 2023? So Indian government has announced that the retail inflation has increased to 6.52% in the month of January from 5.72% in December 2022, and it is mainly due to the rise in food prices. Okay. So retail inflation is basically measured by the Consumer Price Index, and Reserve Bank of India's Household Survey on Inflation Expectation has forecasted that the retail inflation will remain elevated in the next year due to a general increase in the prices across different sectors. Okay. So what is the CPI based inflation in January? So that would be 6.52%. Next is Emden Port, which was seen in the news recently, is located in which country? So this port is the westernmost seaport in Germany's coast, and it is situated at the mouth of the Ems River into the North Sea. So why is it news? Because the Pakistan government is providing military supplies to the country Ukraine via this Emden port, and recently it has dispatched the rocket supplies from the Karachi port for Ukraine via this Emden port. So more than 10,000 rockets have been shipped via this route, and they are to be used in the Grad multi-barrel rocket launchers. And Ukraine is in return helping the Pakistan to upgrade its Mi-17 helicopters. Okay, so that's why Emden Port was in news these days, and it is located in Germany. Next is, what is the theme of the World Radio Day 2023? So this day is observed every year on 13th of February to raise global awareness about the importance of radio as a medium of mass communication. And UNESCO declared this day to commemorate the establishment of United Nations Radio in the year 1946. And this year theme is Radio and Peace. Basically, it highlights the radio's role as an independent medium of peacemaking. And the sub-themes for this day are support for independent radio, and second is radio in conflict prevention and peace building. Okay, so two things are important. World Radio Day is observed on 13th of February, and this year theme is radio and peace. Next is President's Day, which was seen in the news recently, is associated with which country? So President's Day is a federal holiday in the US that is celebrated on the third Monday of February month every year. And this holiday is a tribute to the past US presidents, particularly to George Washington, who was born on 22nd of February. So the significance of the holiday is to pay tribute to the leaders who have served the country. Fine. So this President's Day is associated with USA. And when do we observe this day? It is celebrated on 3rd Monday of February month. Okay. So these are the most important current affairs and the news from today. And since it's Saturday, so there would be no revision session, because yesterday we have completed our November month current affairs with a total set of 240 questions. And now from Monday onwards, we will revise the next month after November. Okay. So let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide, you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions. And at the end of the lecture, do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nuzhat Sana signing off.